Welcome, I'm Elizabeth D'Orazio coming to you from New London Hospital. I'm joined by the new CEO, Tom Manion, and we're very happy to have him here. Now, he's actually been here since just when COVID started, so if you haven't seen him out and about in the community, it's because he's been responsibly social distancing. But we're doing that here, right here in our studio set up on the campus, and we're going to be able to have you meet him personally and hear about what brought him to our community so he can bring his expertise right here to the hospital. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about your journey in medicine and what got you to go to college for that study.
Yeah, so I was a biology undergrad. I always wanted to do something in healthcare. I wasn't quite sure what. I've had family members who, have been diagnosed with prostate cancer, lung cancer, things like that, and I was always on the path to try to do something in healthcare. I did take organic chemistry, and that pretty much put an end to actually doing anything clinically and going on. But it was still, being a bio major, I was still trying to figure out what my way was. And I kind of stumbled into this research job at Sloan Kettering, enrolling people into clinical trials, doing things like biospecimen collections. It was great. I got to go into the ORs to transport samples to the lab and also enroll those same patients on the trials, work with the physicians and epidemiologists to try to write studies and to make sense of all the data that we get, which was a really fun place to start. But that's, for me, the draw was I want to do something in healthcare to help people. Wasn't quite sure what it was, but starting at Sloan was the best thing for me.
Where did you go to college?
St. Lawrence University in Canton, New York, so way upstate New York. It's near the St. Lawrence River. You can see Canada out your door, that kind of a thing.
So coming here to New Hampshire was a little bit familiar than the whole idea of a rural setting.
Yeah, I would say so. And the snow and the cold, the whole bit. I love the Northeast. I love the seasons. I really love it here with the lake region that we have, the Sunapee and Pleasant Lake and everything else that we have here. It's beautiful.
So going from being in like the city of New York, you can't have a more deeper contrast than New London. Tell us a little bit about what made you decide, I really got to go to that interview at New London Hospital.
Yeah. So for starters too, I should mention I'm an Army brat, so I grew up all over the world as a kid, urban settings to rural settings, and so kind of being able to adjust to where I am has always been easy for me. Although starting here in the middle of COVID has been definitely a challenge.
I don't think anyone can adjust to that instantly, so you've done great.
Right. But when I was looking at the job for the president and CEO position here, I actually looked at the Yankee Chronicle interviews you guys did with Bruce King as he was actually finishing up his work, and started just to do some my own research of the area and of the hospital. And where I was in Middlebury, Vermont, previously was a very similar 25-bed critical access hospital, going through a lot of the things we went through there from an affiliation standpoint. We went live on an electronic medical record with Epic, a lot of the things that we're going through here right now. It just felt like a really good fit. And once I really got to know the area and to visit and to look at the place, it was kind of a hands down no-brainer that this is a great place for us to raise a family and to work. So yeah, it was easy. It was an easy decision.
So two things: you have a new child.
Yes, I do.
Okay, congratulations on coming to the area and christening it the right way. Got to hit the ground running with the kids, and I'm sure they absolutely love this area. Tell us a little bit about how your expectations. All of us changed when COVID hit, and how you're personally bringing that experience of being in, the city and your previous places to your application of COVID right now. Yeah,
so, one of the wonderful things just starting here at New London is really getting to know the people. And so I had a whole different game plan about how I was going to go about doing that. But one of the things with working here, you do get to see people when they're faced with adversity. They have two choices. They can either let it steamroll them, or they can step up to meet it and overcome it. And I've seen the latter here. It's been really, really inspiring. So for me, in terms of what I'm taking from my previous experiences, it's so important to spend the time to build those relationships, to get to know people. And I have seen that happen here in spades. The relationships I've been able to build in the short time has been terrific. And it's not just, the people here are just fantastic. I mean, the employees, the community members, our board members. And also, I'll say it's not just, that's focused in New London, sure, but when you look outside of New London, in our affiliation with Dartmouth-Hitchcock, I've had nothing but fantastic support from the system level as well. So it's just been all around that relationship building, getting to know people and figure out how I can help and where I can remove barriers or resource them. That's really been the key for me, and I think what I would hope would be considered a pretty successful start in my short career here at New London.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Tom. And as you can tell, I think they picked the right person for the job for everyone here at New London Hospital.
Thanks, Tom and Elizabeth. Next week, they'll review the current state of the hospital. When we come back, we'll hear what is planned for the 2020 Warner Fall Foliage Festival in this not normal year. But first, here are a couple local businesses that you should support.